Hey everyone, it's Cindy Barlow. How you doing? Look, I've just been outside enjoying this really gorgeous, beautiful day, and I wanted to share with you some of the things that I'm doing to combat the coronavirus. In fact, the title of my video is called 9 Ways to Combat the Coronavirus That People Are Not Talking About. So first of all, I want to talk about what a virus is, how it grows, and the things that you want to look for. A virus grows in an environment that is stagnant. There's no oxygen, usually an environment that is dark and dank, and very often has things that it feeds on, like sugar and alcohol. What we have to do in order to combat the virus, we have to look at ways in which we can create an environment that is healthy. It's a very natural part of life, and that we shouldn't be afraid of it, okay? We've had viruses around forever. And if you think about it, each one of us lives in a world where there's always going to be viruses, there's always going to be fungus, there's always going to be bacteria. And our bodies are really wonderful apparatuses to combat those things. And our body is very wise. It knows how to heal itself. So one of the things that's really important is for you to really trust yourself and trust that this body can withstand quite a bit. And that we've been dealing with these things for, the beginning of life. I want you to just realize that, viruses are a part of life, just like animals and trees and plants. And, it's part of God's universe. So I would just ask you, as you're thinking about viruses, show me something where God isn't. And knowing that, you can realize that God is part of that too. And that it's our judgment and fear that maybe keeps us away from having faith that we're going to get through this. So the way that we're going to combat this virus is to create an environment that is inhospitable for the virus. And in doing that, we will be able to combat the coronavirus and to do it wisely and positively. So the first one, and I don't know, this may sound crazy, okay, but I think you'll understand. Limit or stop watching news on a screen. The reason I say news on a screen, let me just talk about what a screen does to your brain and to your mind. I've been trained on hypnosis and I know how to hypnotize. And media is very good at hypnotizing us. Well, when we're looking at a screen, whether that is a TV screen or on our phone or any kind of screen that has a blue light especially, there is a frequency, a vibrational rate. And it's the same with a movie, even though it's reflected out into our eyes, and it does affect our brain, especially our ability to think. The blue screen is reflected right up in our, our frontal lobe. So what happens is there's a certain frequency. This creates an alpha state in our minds. So alpha state is a hypnotic state. Not only that, okay? Now this is really important, and I'm seriously look at what you see on the news, because you'll see this over and over again, and you're not even aware of it. One way to hypnotize someone is to make a circle, circle something around. And if you'll notice, most news programs start off with, "Ooh, the earth spinning," or, something rolling in. And there's right away, it starts to just pull us in and draw the mind in. The second thing also, some of them do a countdown. So when you're hypnotizing someone, you're counting down from 5, 4, 3, and so forth, right? And they'll be doing that 5, 4, 3, 2. And so all of that is to bring you into a hypnotic state where your subconscious is very suggestible. So now you put yourself in a hypnotic state, and now you're being fed all this information about the coronavirus. Be afraid, be very, very afraid. I call it fear porn. So be aware that that is part of what's going on here, and your chances of even just getting the flu are greater by watching this over and over again, because just by the suggestion of it, it can affect you. In fact, any kind of suggestion, good or bad, it affects the immune system. In Ayurvedic medicine, when you go see an Ayurvedic doctor, the first thing that they will tell you, because the mind and the subconscious listens to everything we say, the first thing that they will say is, you're going to be able to recover. Why do they say that? They say that because you'll have a better chance of recovery if you're thinking positively about it. They're talking to that subconscious part of yourself. And if you think that the subconscious part of yourself is not involved in your immune system and your ability to recover, as my mom would say, you better have another thing coming, because 30 or 40%, it could be even higher sometimes, 30 or 40% of an illness can be cured by a placebo. That's how powerful the mind is. So we really want to protect it. Now, there's one other thing I want to tell you about what we see on the media. And this involves also what you see when you're reading articles online. So I'm really saying, do not get on any media that's online that has a screen. If you're going to read about media, get a newspaper that you can read. So nothing is moving. And this has to do with our brain, our frontal lobe, and what we call our reptilian brain. And that is that just like a cat and a mouse, if you watch a cat looking at a mouse, right, the cat will just, be really still and stare at it, and the mouse is still. But the minute the mouse moves, the cat moves, and the attention, comes back. This reptilian brain is like that. And, everyone in the media totally know this. They've got us all figured out. They got us our brains figured out on what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. So if you notice on most news stations, you'll always see something moving on the screen. Or when you go to online news place, there'll always be something, dropping in and dropping out, because they want you to stay there. And just like cat, the more, the mouse might just be really still, but it's just waiting for it to move again. And every time it moves, it establishes a connection, and that's the reptilian brain that just automatically will pay attention. It's the reptilian brain, that limbic system, that is the survival part of us, that part that feels fear. Here we are, we're being hypnotized, and our reptilian brain is being triggered all the time. It's crazy making. So my suggestion is this: stop watching fear porn and take 48 hours off from all the news, all of it. Just take some time off and just don't worry. I didn't watch news for like 8 months once. And I can tell you, I didn't miss anything. In 5 minutes, I caught up on everything. And one of the things I realized, that all news is just recycled over and over and over again. And again, that's the hypnotic quality. You say something enough and everybody's going to get on board or believe or, follow along. Take your mind back. Stop being mind controlled by this news cycle. Take your mind back, because the rest of the things I'm going to tell you to do will totally be game changers for you if you follow them. Okay, also one thing I wanted to say as well, and that is that part of the news cycle gets us all excited and fearful, and we can actually become addicted to that kind of fear and excitement. Taking some time away is like so good. Going to be good for your immune system, going to be good for your mind, and it's probably going to be really good for your relationships, okay? Especially the one here. So that one was number one. Okay, number two,